Hey friends, this is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the audiophiliac. This is sad news. I want to talk about the passing of David Wilson from Wilson Audio. My thoughts go out to the Wilson family. Um, my personal connection to Wilson goes back to the early 90s when I was working at Sound by Singer, and Singer was a big Wilson dealer. This was around the time of the Watt 3 Puppy 2. And I really loved that speaker. And I used to come into work early so I could spend a half an hour, 45 minutes just listening to those speakers without being interrupted with the business of the day. And I must have done that 50 times over a period of years because I just loved them. I couldn't afford them. I couldn't buy those speakers, but and they were the speakers that put the company on the map. They really were. The combination of the Watt satellite speaker on top of the woofer, which was the Puppy, and that speaker, when you think about that shape, so many other companies copied the basic idea of how that speaker worked, of having a speaker sitting on top of a woofer and the triangular shape of the Watt. I mean, it really was a game changer in high-end audio for good reason. It was a great speaker. Wilson Audio, the company, continues on, and I just did a piece recently on the newest Wilson just a couple of weeks ago, the Tune Tot, which is definitely in the character of all Wilson speakers. A beautifully made speaker. They make them all in Provo, Utah, with great finish, great paint, incredible cabinets, really well put together. And kind of like Dave Wilson, he was a very precise man. I think he was a chemist by training, but he had an engineer's mind. Focus, precision. He set out a task to do, and he stayed on that task until it was complete to his satisfaction. And I remember being at introductions of many speakers where he spoke. The X1, this is still in the Sound by Singer days, and later on, and Alexandria and Alex and many other speakers over the years. And he gave great talks because he really explained what he wanted to do. And one of the lines I remember him saying in one of those introductions was when he talked. Somebody asked him a question about sound staging and imaging and why his speakers image so well, and he said, everybody who listens to a two-channel audio system is blind, meaning you don't get to see the musicians. And by making speakers that have incredibly focused, precise imaging, you can, in quotes, see the musicians playing. I thought that was a great answer. No one ever put it together quite like that before, that when you're listening to a two-channel audio system, everyone is blind. I wish I had more great stories, but I could just sum it up and say Wilson Audio was a real pioneer in high-end audio. He created a brand that continues, past his time here, and many companies followed in his wake of Wilson Audio and produced products that kind of looked a lot like Watt Puppy, is the speaker that I started this talk with. I mean, that speaker, more than any of his other speakers, really inspired so many copies. So anyway, I'll miss you, Dave. That's it for today. My name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the audiophiliac.